A CBS News poll out Monday night finds a majority of Americans disapprove of President Trump's handling of the healthcare debate and rising tensions with North Korea. Only 39% approve of his handling of the situation with North Korea, and 29% approve of Mr. Trump's handling of healthcare. But a majority of Americans, 58%, say they approve of Mr. Trump's handling of hurricanes that have recently hit the U.S. For more on these results, let's bring in Anthony Salvanto. He's CBS News Director of Elections and Surveys. Anthony, welcome.
Thank you, Elaine.
So let's start with North Korea. North Korea's foreign minister said President Trump has, quote, declared war on the country. What concerns Americans most in terms of how the administration has handled that issue?
Yeah, the president's handling of North Korea, as you mentioned, is fairly low. And what Americans are saying is they're more concerned that a war starts that is unnecessary than we wait too long and possibly get attacked. And the reason for that is that they still see this as a possibility of containment. They do see North Korea as a threat, but they say that it's one that the U.S. can still contain and keep that threat in check. And so that's why you see that big gap where people are really, most people are concerned that a war might start too quickly. And, you know, there's really a mix on this, including among Republicans. And I think that speaks in context to this larger war weariness that we've seen really over the last 10 years that's kind of been throughout both parties.
It's really fascinating to watch those views, especially in light of some of this rhetoric that we've been seeing. Let's talk about another issue, health care. Republicans are trying to rally support for the Graham-Cassidy health bill, which still appears to lack the required votes. Where are Americans when it comes to this bill?
Yeah, well, we tested this bill, and by 2-to-1, people who had an opinion on it disapproved of it. And, you know, the context for that is a lot of people felt that the Republicans were moving too fast on it. A sizable number said that they didn't know enough about it to even rate it. But the thing that really struck me was the very small number who said that they personally would be helped by the bill. And so if you've got that sort of combination of things going on, you can sort of explain why it's not popular, and then why also it kind of seems to have reflected back on the president in this poll, where he also gets low approval for handling health care. At the end of the day, this is the kind of issue that comes back to people's wallets and their pocketbooks and, of course, their health plans, and they want to see something tangible that they say helps them. They do not say that Obamacare is perfect. They say overwhelmingly, or at least the majority, say that they think it needs changes, but they're not yet sold on this plan, and that's why it meets right now with such disapproval.
Well, you also asked Republicans if they thought that Republicans in Congress were doing enough to help President Trump. What did you learn? Yeah,
and this is something that I think speaks to this kind of split on whose party is it, right? Is it the Republicans in the legislature's party, or is it Donald Trump's party? More now say that they think the Republicans in Congress should be doing more to help the president. And there's one part of this where you see everybody can agree on the idea that they want something done. That's just something that gets passed, but there's that other wrinkle they also want, because people always want everything, they also want something that's good. So they want a good deal, they want something done. And one of the things I think really speaks to it is we also talked about Trump making deals with Democrats. And a lot of people also said they liked that from a couple of weeks ago.
They did like that. See, that's interesting, because, you know, we've talked to Democratic strategists about that. Is this a dilemma for Democrats? Do they go ahead and try and sit across the table from the president and work on those common areas of agreement, or do they sit in staunch opposition, as we know some within the Democratic base really want them to do, and just oppose him outright? What did you find about that?
Now, they still like it, and it just comes back to this larger idea. People don't always know every particular policy, but they take their cues from what they see going on. If they see a piece of legislation or something that's just one partisan side, they assume everybody else on the other side figures, well, this must not be for me. But when they see bipartisanship, it communicates to them that maybe there's something in that for me. So it's not just the sort of esoteric idea of working together, it's how do I get something out of this process? And that's what bipartisanship signals. And so what they're saying is, if you guys work together and you cooperate, maybe we'll all get something out of this. And there's still that desire,
all right,
whether or not it happens.
Yes, we shall see. That's a $64,000 question. All right, Anthony Salvanto, thanks so much, Anthony.
Thanks, Ellen.